You can always add more to a painting, but you need to realize that the painting's already been done.
Like, at what day and moment was I was just like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
I wish I could go back and kick that son of a bitch in the dick.
Whatever somebody's going through, even the little things are things that like progressively get bigger. Like there's ways around it. There's ways to like go through it. There really is.
Everything has a consequence. Everything changes with every decision that you make.
This is Me versus Me. That's a good place to start, I think.
Yeah. And then who knows?
Yeah, I'm really, really, really excited to see some of the things that are working out or coming together, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, I didn't realize that there was actually like a shift happening. Like, what'd you say?
Are we on?
Yeah.
Oh. Good thing you told me that.
Yeah, I know it's weird not to hear the intro.
Chit-chatting, yeah.
No.
So so we just finished out a cycle, and for zodiac people to understand that Capricorn, Aries, who else? Cancer, and I believe Libra. We just finished out a 16-year cycle.
16 years?
16 years.
Holy shit.
And just moved into Aquarius, so that shifts everything. So we ended that cycle.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so I didn't know that I was going to start with this, but what we're going to see is, and what we are seeing is, this is a matrix, right? Those movies don't come from anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
just nowhere.
Right.
These are ideas. It's impossible to imagine something that doesn't exist. So when you see the movies like The Matrix, what's another one? It escapes me right now. But anyhow, that's what it is. It's a matrix. It's a mirror. We're a mirror, as above, so below. So it's kind of a mirror of things that go on. And for a long time, things have been, well, let's just be honest, crazy. Pretty much everything is backwards.
Mm-hmm.
If you're told one thing, you do the opposite, you're going to be fine. I mean, everything is just nutty and backwards.
Yeah. It feels that way.
It's a mirror effect.
You know what kind of feels like what is happening? And this is probably like the most simplistic way that I can describe it, because I really don't know exactly what's going on. But like energy is shifting in such a way that what I see, the way that I perceive it, is it's like eyes are opening up.
Yes.
To everything that's happening.
Yes, thank you for saying that.
People are starting to like really believe in the fact that things happen in fucking weird ways.
Mm-hmm.
And people are starting to open up to the idea that things are happening for certain reasons, and understand that there may be a lot more that's happening than what we can see.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there's stuff happening on levels that we don't see and we don't understand. But people are starting to like, okay, something's going down, you know?
I'm so excited you're saying that, because I've been in the weirdo world for like 5 years now, where people just don't get it. Like, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I was those people. I just didn't understand until I had that spiritual awakening that this energy is just, it's everything. It's everything. And it's shifting, and we are starting to feel it. People are starting to wake up.
People are. And,
yes.
and this is me, as far as like what I'm into is concerned. I'm on such a low level of everything that I'm involved in, like as far as like spiritually and like astronomically, stuff like that.
That's what you think.
I'm really, well, I know, but I'm not like actively involved in anything like this. All I'm telling you is what I feel. And all I'm telling you is the shifting that I feel in my energy.
I can appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that is a purely basic idea. And if I'm I have to say something to follow that up, but to anybody listening to this, if you feel something like that on a basic level, I just want you to know that you can express it, because I'm telling you from somebody, I'm a tow truck driver. Like, I am of no like energetical or astronomical, knowledge. I'm on the base level of all that stuff, but I feel it. So don't ignore that shit. Don't ignore it, because it's real.
It is absolutely real. It's much realer than people think.
I feel like people open their eyes, but they don't speak on it because they don't want to feel dumb
Or crazy.
or crazy.
Oh, I am like,
you know,
my own family thinks I'm just batshit crazy.
people are like, well, I don't want people to think such and such about me. No, don't fucking ignore
Yeah,
that.
who
It's a real
cares?
thing.
I don't give a crap anymore.
More people agree than you believe. Just no one's speaking on
Yeah.
it. So.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of what we touched on our last episode. We talked about the things that stop us from being real. You know, the fear and the doubt and what are people going to think? Who gives a crap? People are so worried about what you're thinking of them. They're not even thinking about you.
Yeah.
You know, and if they do,
100%.
then they don't understand it anyway. And that's by design. There are people in certain situations, we all have our own path, our own purpose here. And some are not meant to wake up at all in this lifetime. Some are meant to wake up and earlier and lead others, and others are going to wake up later. But we all are going to wake up at some point.
One of my, a couple of my close friends have brought up a rather strange idea to me that I'm not so sure I can get behind. But
I love this. I can't wait.
Somebody had mentioned to me that not everybody, and I think we've talked about it a few times on here, but not everybody has that little voice in their head that responds to them, you know, for I guess, reasoning with yourself kind of thing.
Well, and it's internal. I don't know why I'm going blank.
You know what I'm talking about?
Introspection is what it is. Yeah.
And like the more and
some
more
don't to care.
the
to
more
be honest.
the more and more that I think about it, I really fully don't know that I believe that some people purely don't have it. I would say more along the lines that some people choose not to listen to it. And you know what? This is kind of a weird balance, but I feel like in the world that we live in today, I kind of understand why. Some people would just rather be... It's easier to be a part of the machine that we live in than it is to try and...
Is it, though?
This is... it's purely opinion.
Yeah.
You know? And it's funny that I say something like that because I'm wholeheartedly doing everything against that machine.
Exactly.
You know?
That's my whole point.
I'm fighting every...
Is it really?
Every ounce of it. And I could see... Well, I could see why it's easier just to settle and be...
You mean conform?
Conform and be of the world and just go along with the way things are trained. But
trained, that's a very specific word. Pay attention to what you're saying. You are guided. You may not think you are, but you are. We all have. So let me just start by saying, first of all, if I may, anything that I share is just my point of view, based on my experience and what I see. And as we all go throughout life, we have our experiences and we grow and we learn and we change and we have new ideas and sometimes we even adopt new beliefs or, you know, when things resonate, right? But I realize that I'm very unconventional. I don't fit in the woo-woo spiritual world so much because I don't, and this is I have a dark side. That's about it. It's not all rainbows and sunshine, okay?
Right.
And I don't fit it necessarily in the religious world either, because I don't believe in the fear-based propaganda and the things that they push on you.
Fair.
So, but there are obviously very strong aspects of that are in my makeup, and my true belief is God is within all of us. It is our guiding light. It is that voice you're talking about. We all have it. We're all made in the image of God. We all have that within us. Everyone's out looking for all the answers everywhere else, and it's right here.
I can agree with that.
Whether you listen to it or not,
Right.
or even pay attention to that, or if you are motivated to, that's a whole other story. But it exists. We are all made. We didn't just show up. We are all made in the image of God. It is within us. The thing is, no matter what you're reading or seeing or hearing, pray for knowledge, wisdom, and discernment, even when you're reading the Bible, because those things are. You can. That's why they call it the living. You know, the Bible is a living. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with me today?
It's all right.
Anyways, Because you can read it and understand it from one perspective, and then you can 10 years later read the same thing and have a different perspective, because now you have experience to back it up and relate it to something. So, but I believe we all have that within us. That's just my opinion. And it's like I said, whether we decide we're going to follow that or not.
It's definitely something that I've experienced recently in like the last 6 months, which is super recent, but I've definitely come to the very beginning conclusion of what's happening, especially the things that I'm noticing is like there are certain people that will cross paths with you in your life that are going to be much more willing to connect and much more willing to open up to those connections. And some of these people, it makes me feel crazy because when it happens, I tell them, you know, I acknowledge these things wholeheartedly, and I will tell just about anybody, whether it's on a drunk bar night or whatever the case may be. If I meet them in public, like I'll tell them like there's something special about the way that you conversate, something special about the way that you hold yourself. You know, don't let go of that. And I don't
believe in any coincidence.
I don't either.
No.
I try to let that shit shine only because of what I'm trying to learn and what I'm trying to accomplish. It doesn't always work. You know, unfortunately, some of the people that I've come across that have been really, really strong in that aspect.
What do you mean strong in what aspect?
I've come across a few people that are really just these. It's like their light is flickering at me, like telling me. And when they,
you mean like a beacon?
They get into certain conversations, and it's like they want to open up to me. They're trying, and like I can feel it, I can hear it, I can sense it in them, and then trying to reach out to acknowledge that on a different day is like starting from ground zero all over again, and they just fight it. You know, some people fight this because they don't want to acknowledge maybe a sensitive side or whatever they want to call it. Some people perceive things like this as weakness, you know what I mean? However they perceive it.
I see it as back to what we originally talked about, like in the last episode where we talked about not having that, like based on our programming as children. First of all, I'm certain you have or know somebody that you've heard someone say, children are to be seen and not heard. Anybody, lots of people will know exactly what I'm talking about. Children are to be seen and not heard. Right there, that kind of tells you.
Children have some amazing capabilities.
Yes, because they don't have all the crap piled on them.
Yeah, that's for sure.
As we go through these experiences. So, what I'm understanding you're saying, first of all, people just want to be heard. They just sometimes want someone to hear them. They just want to vent it out and have someone listen.
I think essentially that's what I'm trying to get out of the people that I am trying to acknowledge that connection with, but not everybody will let it happen. Does that make sense?
That's true, and you can almost see that struggle within them.
Oh, I can definitely see it all the time.
Yeah. But again, that goes back to, will this person think I'm crazy? Are they going to judge me?
Yeah.
It's fear.
Yeah.
It's fear and doubt. I'm telling you, fear and doubt are just assassins, because that's what stops us from doing the things that we want to do or say, because of that fear of, will I be judged? And then when you think about it, I don't like everyone I meet. Why would I expect them all to like me?
Right.
So that's fair playing ground, right? So that's okay. You don't have to understand me.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to resonate with what I'm saying. If you don't, it's because it's not supposed to be that way. And if we can all get in that place where we understand that we have a plan and a purpose here, we have a role here to play, and those who are supposed to resonate with and understand and get something out of it will. And those who don't, it's okay. We have to just be okay with it not resonating with someone and not taking that personal, because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say 10 out of 10, has nothing to do with you. It's their issue. that is preventing them from. So it's not even when somebody. I was just telling a gal, or somebody we stopped to get lunch, and this guy was yelling at, kind of frustrated, and just this is some young girl that she's just doing her job right. And he started complaining about management, and they should do this and get more this and that, and they need more people at the registers, and I'm thinking this poor girl's just sitting here like, okay, what am I going to do about it?
Great, yeah.
Right, yeah. And there's a whole line of people, and he's just ripping on her in front of everybody. So I turned back to look at him. He's like, what? It's true. I said, I didn't say a word.
Yeah, hey, man, I was just looking.
Yeah, I want to know who's acting crazy behind me. I gotta, you know what I'm saying?
You're screaming behind me.
Yeah, but the reality is that she probably thought I got yelled at. That was embarrassing in front of other people, and that brought her down, right? That when we talk about energy levels, that will lower your energy level, right? Lower your vibration.
Sure will.
And it really had nothing to do with her at all. That guy was just obviously upset about things, whatever happened to him throughout his day, and he lashed out on the first person that listened to him.
Yep.
Had nothing to do with her. It was none of her business.
Right.
But I bet she took that home.
Oh, I'm sure she did. It probably weighed on her.
Mm-hmm. But we allow that. That's our fault for allowing that. Because once we realize that it has nothing to do, it's not personal.
Mm-hmm.
When you realize that people react, not respond, react by their emotions, which, by the way, let's talk about energy here. Let's break it down to the very basic. What is vibration and frequency? What is energy? Energy, think about the E in energy, in emotion.
Yeah.
Energy is energy in motion, emotion. Okay? So you can think about something, but when you have a feeling attached to that, that's what makes it powerful. Okay? So energy in motion creates vibration. Vibration creates frequency. Now people will go, I don't want to hear all that woo-woo stuff.
That makes complete sense.
But how are we having this conversation right here?
Yeah.
How is this being broadcast?
Mm-hmm.
Through frequencies.
Yeah.
So I was having a conversation. Did you want to say something? Because I'm all about you just jump in when you have an idea.
I was just going to say, the only thing that I wanted to comment on was, you spoke about, what'd you say? Like that weighed on her, and it doesn't have to, or,
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff, when stuff like that happens.
How?
No, when that stuff kind of happens, and like being in my shoes every day, I'm the last person anybody wants to see in my profession,
Or the first.
No, I'm always the last person.
Really?
Nobody wants a tow truck.
Oh, I'm happy when the tow truck comes. I'm not stuck there anymore.
Well,
It's about perspective, though, right?
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, nobody ever wants to see a tow truck. They're paying for
Wait, are
it.
you
They were
repoing?
in an accident. I don't do repos.
Okay. Because I was going to say, well, then that's what you get. No, I'm kidding.
Those, yeah, you did this to yourself.
Of course they're pissed. No, I'm kidding.
Those moments, I don't know. I would love to agree with you that it doesn't have to like weigh on me.
So give me an example. Do you have one?
Just like an example, like what you were just speaking of, like when you come in an instance of some aggression going on in a situation that you're put into, or even if it's directed at me for no apparent reason. That stuff kind of, it does, but not for long. But it definitely like you just said, it's bad vibration, and
It's negativity.
As I'm getting older, I'm becoming physically like more aware of like bad vibration and bad energy and stuff, and there's even people that are close to me for a long time that I'm like kind of picking and choosing when I'm going to be put in certain scenarios with different people, and it's people I love, but I'm just becoming a little bit more aware of what these bad vibrate. I don't like bad energy because I love these people and I love almost everybody, but bad vibration is perfect.
So negative energy is what it. You don't like to say negative either.
I don't like that word. I don't. That's
Okay.
not what I'm. That's not what I'm referring to. It's just bad vibration in positions, situations. Maybe I don't want to be a part of, but I feel that stuff like on a negative level or on a physical level, and it doesn't like make me ill, but it definitely like drags me down and it weighs on my mind.
Well, think about it. Why is
only
everyone so
because I
depressed
care.
around holidays?
Oh yeah.
Because they're around people that, they've been able to avoid all year.
Yeah. Now we gotta do this again. Great. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh crap! It's but in reality, it's how do
I do wish that I was more capable of kind of turning it off. On the same token, I'm kind of glad that I can't. I know that sounds strange, but I'd rather be in tune with it and be aware of it than be ignorant to it.
So block your energy. My energy stays with me. Your energy stays with you. Intention is everything. I say everything's everything, but intention is very important.
I guess that depends on who.
But that doesn't mean, so hold on, that doesn't mean that you have to not talk to that person ever again.
Oh, right.
It just means if you know you're going to come up against somebody that just, let's say it's somebody who's prideful or it does speak very negatively or always sees like the dark side of stuff or like they can have like 3 great things happen to them, but they're like focused on the 8th thing, or the one thing that wasn't,
Yeah.
And so, you're going to meet up with these person around the holidays and you're going to have to be cordial and you're going to have to be polite and blah, blah, blah. And so if going into it, you guys don't vibe. Mm-hmm. Going into it, you get that feeling before you ever get there. As soon as why do you think when your buddies say, hey, let's go out tonight, and you're like, who's going?
Yeah.
Who's going to be there?
Who's going to be there?
Yeah. Because you want to know how to prepare for that. And so you can keep your energy to where you're first of all, if you're going to be in a situation with somebody that you don't vibe with, and it does negatively affect you and it does bring you down, stop doing it. Even if they're people you love.
Well, that's what I was going to say is my solution that can definitely be perceived incorrectly by anybody who doesn't ask questions. My personal solution, only because I have the freedom to do so, and I'm so independent, is typically just remove myself from the situation. Mm-hmm. And that's not like in a bad way. That's just if I don't want to be a part of a situation, it's not mad, it's not angry, it's just simply if we're already there, then I'm probably just okay, I'm gonna go over here, or I'm gonna and if I don't want to be there, then I'm just not gonna go there.
So what we're talking about, I think, is setting boundaries, and maybe have that conversation with somebody you really love and you really do want to be around. Mm-hmm. Then say, listen, can we talk about something? I want you to know that this is how I feel. I know you're not doing it intentionally. You may not even realize you're doing it. But when you speak about these things, I'm put in this this helpless feeling position that not really anything to do about your situation, and it makes me uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And I care about you. I value you. I see your value. I love you. I want to be around you. But if this is going to continue,
right,
I'm going to have to remove myself.
So then we got to distance a little bit.
Yeah, and that's called loving from a distance.
Yeah.
We're setting boundaries, what you're going to allow and what you're not. You are the only one that can do that.
Another interesting thing, if I might shift gears, I'm sorry.
Please, anytime. Flip it around and I'm ready.
Another interesting thing that has kind of happened, the more and more that I kind of realize what's going on, and the more and more I'm a little bit more open to what I need to be actually doing, it's been kind of fun because I've definitely put that out there, like not verbally, but I've definitely put out like what I need to be doing, and I think people in my life kind of understand the shift that I'm making. The fun part is the people that like really are truly for what I'm trying to accomplish, which some of them are, they're very close friends, but of a long time.
So you've tolerated them a really long time?
Not necessarily.
I know I have those.
I do have those.
Yeah.
But the people that I'm referring to have kind of, it's almost like they heard the call and they were like, okay, now's the time. And now the important people that actually want to be a part of the long run and want to be a part of the important stuff and, kind of understand the shift I'm making are, I've had some really, really amazing people come in contact, and
that's your soul tribe.
And they're surrounding, and they have been recently, and these people are coming around more and more. There was this giant shift of just like, I'm getting away from this because it's negative and it's not what I need to be doing, and I'm going to focus more on this. And then there was just like this shift of certain people that are truly amazing people, and the perspectives and the lives and the respect and appreciation that they've been around for everything that I need to be doing. You know what I mean? the real ones that I need to be around me have fell into position, and it's incredible.
So what I'm getting from that is, again, I feel like you are much more guided and aware than you realize.
I'm
And
aware. I just don't know about guided.
What? But you are. Where do these ideas come from? Where do these thoughts come from?
I'm not sure, but it's amazing.
So, I'll just give you my experience.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people. I was born and raised here, so I have friends way back from elementary school.
You were raised here?
Yes.
You were born here?
I've been born and raised here.
Holy shit,
Yes.
that's a first.
Yeah. So I have friends from elementary school that I've had very deep connections with for a very, very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some that I've, been friends with 35 years. And they drifted off.
Exactly.
It was insane.
Yeah.
I mean, close friends at my house every day, knows my family, watched my children grow up. And it just shifted.
Yep.
It wasn't bad. It was just, and if I look back, I have to be honest and say, I tolerated their behavior for a very long time because I knew them so long.
I understand that more than you know.
Mm-hmm. So the reality is, and so this is how I would gauge it myself. I don't care who it is, family, siblings, whatever it is. That's still family, but you know what I'm saying, like friends, whatever, associates for many years, whatever it is.
Excuse me.
I would start looking at things like, hold on a second. It was back when I talked to about that journey of choosing me, right? Because that's the first thing you have to do. First of all, you got to surrender. You got to surrender to fighting this whole thing you're talking about, where you're fighting against it. You're fighting against the what you've been programmed. We all have been programmed. We have been lied to our entire lives. Okay.
I would believe that.
So that's when you're saying it's a fighting against. It's almost like you got blocks on your feet and you're like trudging up this hill, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna make this. So we're fighting the programming that is that fight that you're talking about right there. And when I would look back, I would say, hold on a second. Who? Like if I met this person that I have been friends with 35 years, tomorrow, would I like them? Would I hang with them? Would I talk to them again? If the answer is no, it's a real clear answer right there.
Right.
So then you have to look at, I tolerated you because I just knew you so long. I accepted your bad behavior because I'm used to it. Is that where you really want to be?
Right.
Because in my life anyway, and I'm very hardcore, my cutoff game is on point. You're either for me or you're against me.
Right.
Point blank, period. Goodbye.
Yep.
Because when people love you and care about you, they want you to succeed. That's just it. I'm sorry. That's just it. I'm actually not sorry. That's it. When someone really loves you and cares about you and really wants to see you win, they're going to help you do that. They're going to support you. Even if they don't agree with it, they're going to shut up and tell you, good job, you keep going, because they love you and care about you.
It's pretty incredible, too.
And I'll tell you this, that's the soul tribe I was talking about. When you start when you start choosing yourself, and you have, and you're on your path, which you clearly are, you will see people drop off. It doesn't have to be angry. It doesn't have to be aggressive. You'll just see them kind of slip off. People that you used to talk to on a fairly regular basis, you're like, oh my gosh, I haven't heard from that person in like 3 months. Right? Well,
Yeah.
So much has happened now. I wouldn't know where to start. It'd be a long conversation. I mean, I don't even really want to get into it now. I'm just moving right?
Yeah.
And they just kind of slip off. But what'll happen is, so it looks lonely, right? Because people start just dropping out of your life. And when you realize that's by design, because they're not meant to go with you. We talked about that in the last episode about the rocket. Remember about the rockets going up and you got your boosters and the boosters fall off when you get to a certain elevation?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Some of those people are designed to fall off. They're not able to go where you're going. They're not able to elevate with you, and that's okay. We're not mad at them. They just can't elevate.
No, I was going to say a majority of the people, unfortunately, that fall into that category have been extremely supportive throughout the entire process and throughout my entire journey. They're just not... They're supportive. They're just not supportive in front of me. Does that make sense?
No.
They're supportive verbally.
Okay.
From a distance, but when you put,
So you mean they're not really supportive?
I mean, that's how I felt in the beginning. I won't lie, but when I just understood that my journey is not necessarily something that everybody
They
wants to
agree
be
with?
invested to be. No, they just don't want to. It's a lot of work, you know. I'm doing a lot of work outside of work, and not everybody wants to do that.
Oh, are you talking about helping build it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck with that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of support and love to go with it, but
So you're saying you're getting verbal support, they just don't want to get their hands dirty.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean,
as much as a million people have told me that they want to be a part of it,
well,
I don't have to tell you much.
yeah. I've been there. I'm a business owner. I get it.
But that's okay. That's all right with me. I'm okay with it.
But what I was getting at though, the great side of that, and that's okay. They can be supportive. Maybe that's not something that they just don't feel the
That's exactly it's my
talented
fire.
in.
It's not
Yeah,
theirs.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone else to understand. When
Yeah.
I first started out with this, I'm like, yeah, listen to this. It's great. And everyone's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't really see, I mean, cool, but, and I'm like, it's okay. I had to come to the point where I'm like, the reason God gave you that vision is for you.
And 2 years into this, I finally started understanding
Yes.
like this is my path. This is what I want.
Exactly.
This isn't necessarily what they want to be a part of.
Right.
The support
This is your baby.
I love the support and I love them for doing that,
Mm-hmm.
but this is my path and
It is your path, and it is not for nobody has to understand your vision but you.
100%.
And
I'm
is,
cool with
stick
it.
with that, because that is going to be what drives you through when everyone, and I'm not saying everyone, I have great supporters too. Some have been along the entire way. I am shocked, both sides. I've had some that, sorry, that was going off.
That's okay.
I have,
Just caught my eye.
I had some that, I have my new manifestation thing. Every time my phone goes off, I get paid smoothly, effortlessly, with wisdom and gratitude. I'm serious. Every time it goes off, I get paid. So, manifest, we put that out there, right? We create our own reality. I think too fast, so my mouth has to catch up.
Let it out.
So, anyhow, I was surprised by it. Some of them I thought would be like, yeah, whatever, not get involved. And they're some of my biggest supporters. And then I had others that I thought, yeah, and they're like, nah. I was surprised by who shifted in
Yeah.
what way.
Yeah.
And it's okay, allow those shifts. And what I started to say about Soul Tribe is as those people start to fall off, because they're not meant to go with you. They were meant to get you to this point, and others will come in and help you get to the next point.
It's exactly
So your
what
soul,
happened.
I'm telling you, I know this for fact. So that soul tribe comes in because once you made the decision to choose yourself and choose your path, then the universe was like, okay, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
We have all this stuff lined up for you. You just have to choose you, follow this path regardless of what anybody else says, because we're trusting you with this, right? And as soon as that happens, then it opens up and they'll start placing people in your path. So you are changing the dynamics.
It's getting scary now.
It's fun. It's so cool because these people already understand you. They're already an energetic match. We're talking about energy again because everything is energy.
Yeah.
Right?
It's pretty truly incredible because to get kind of onto this path, I had to veer in places that I was super uncomfortable with.
Of course.
I'm not even gonna lie. I've definitely dabbled in things that I'm not comfortable with, and I've been places. I put myself in places that I didn't never want to go, but I took chances and I made a few moves here and there to try and kind of veer in that right direction.
Because it's you got heart.
My belief is 110%. Nothing changes unless you make small changes, and you're never gonna go places you want to go unless you do things you don't want to do.
And you cannot let others hold you down. You cannot let others' opinions or limiting beliefs. That's a huge one. So they'd be like, yeah. And then I'd be like, then I'd realize I was like, I'd be all excited and I'd call a friend like, oh, I have this opportunity to this. I'm so excited. I'm like, yeah, but I know that whole game. And then this and that. I'm like, okay, that's not very supportive.
Yeah.
And then then you get to the point where you realize that it's just not. It's not even their fault. It's nothing personal. You don't have to be mad at them. It's just they can't go where you're going. They're not an energetic match for you anymore, and they don't understand that path. And that's okay. They don't have to.
Right.
But you can't be in my way either. So that's back to what I'm saying. You're either for me or you're against me. I don't have time for it. I have my path. I know I know in my soul what I'm supposed to be doing. You know in your soul what you're supposed to be doing, and you're doing it. Even though it's hard. People, you think it's easy? I know it's not easy to get up and be on video and have your voice on broadcasted.
Across the world.
Yeah. So these are not easy things for people. But you do it because it's supposed to be done. You know that in your heart that's what you're supposed to do, whether you're comfortable or not. And then you get more comfortable as it goes on.
I sure hope it's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Do you find joy in it?
Oh, I love doing this.
Okay, then there you go.
Yeah.
If you have two choices, I always tell my kids this, if you have two choices, for instance, my grandson today was like, well, we could either go do this or we could go do that. I'm not really sure which one. Which one are you just slightly more excited about?
Right.
That's the one you pick.
Yeah.
Because that's how the universe works.
Mm-hmm.
You'll feel it. You know what? Yeah, it's that one. That one. That's what you go for. So if this is your excitement, this gives you joy, this is exactly where you're supposed to be.
I found myself. Sorry to go two steps back.
No, we can fly all over the place. I can go back, forth.
You talk about the people that kind of, when you finally start making those correct strides, you find yourself with the people that you're supposed to find yourself with, which is a very select group, very strange group. Just never. It's just not somewhere I would have placed myself. You know what I mean?
You mean as far as
the people,
the personalities? You mean?
It's just not the group of people that I would have placed being.
Good thing
physically
we don't know everything,
here.
huh?
Yeah.
Good thing somebody knows better than us, right?
Yeah, and then getting to know, everybody a little bit. I've become close to a certain group of people, and it's so funny because I can speak all their languages independently. I understand them all on their own intellectual level. It's wild.
It's magical. It really
it's
is
super
like
magical.
Small miracles. I know what you're saying.
Because
I feel it. I understand
I can
it.
speak and I can communicate with every single one of them slightly different, but I know them all on such intimate levels. Where was I going with that? I don't remember now.
So, this is deep.
It's gone.
But these are very heavy topics. This is very heavy stuff.
It wasn't the change I saw coming.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. I'm sorry. One of the things that I started doing before everything kind of started happening, and this was my own personal doing, but I made a choice. And I think I've kind of always done this, but when people started there's some people that pushed on me to accept their support. Some people that wanted to be a part of this, or they said they wanted to be a part of this, and they said they wanted to help out and to do this and do that, and things like that. I would push back a little bit. I'd say, okay, well, if that's what you want to do, or if that's the case, and I'm not just talking about just here either, but other adventures, because I'm doing a bunch of shit,
Awesome.
I'm pushing forward in every way that I can.
Yeah.
I would push back, and I would say, okay, all right, well, then let's do this, this, and this. I would, up the ante.
Test them. Are you testing them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Up the ante a little bit, and I'm going to see how serious we are.
Yeah, let's see if you show up.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You need to know who your people are.
And before this shift, none of those people did. None of those people were willing to, accommodate what needed. Because with anything that I'm asking of people, there's going to be learning, there's going to be adaptation, there's going to be more work. I'm adding to your plate, and I'm going to expect you to show up if you want to be a part of it. And
so, okay, I'm going to just start from what my experience is. When you start to follow your path, and most people are like, what is my path? I don't know my purpose path, whatever. It's what you're excited about. What did you want to do when you were a kid? What dreams did you have when you were a kid? What kind of games did you play when you were a kid? And you're like, oh, I'm going to be this, and I'm going to be that, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, right? And then you have everybody else throwing their limiting beliefs on you all throughout. You go to school, and they just, man, this whole conversation, I have so much to say. I don't even know where to start.
I'm gonna comment on some shit you just said, because it just happened. I think it was like last weekend, but somebody was in here, when I had some people over and stuff like that. We come in here and we listen to music. This is our inspiration room.
Good.
100%. Somebody came in that had never been in my group, and they were asking me like about the studio and about some of the things we were doing, and they were just naysaying. They were shutting my shit.
Bye.
They were shutting my shit down
Out the door.
and like saying, "Well, why do you want to do that?" And like, "Why do you? Well, that's dumb. Why do you
Why
want
is
to do
that
that?
none of your business? Why
And-
are you here?
And I like, all my close people were looking at me like
Say something.
they had my back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm older now, so I keep things de-escalated. It's my nature.
You can do it in a nice way.
I can. And I got in a conversation with him. I said, well, because that's what we're going to do, and that's what I want to do, and I got things going on, and we're doing this, and we're doing that. And it kind of got to a point where he got the point, and he said, well, it's your house. I'm going to respect it. I said,
Good.
well, that's probably a good choice.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
idea.
But it was wild. Not a thought in my brain was like, this guy's words mean nothing now. And I'm really sorry.
It's disappointing, isn't it?
It's super disappointing because I would never come into somebody's domain of creativity and
Crap on it.
speak negatively
Yeah.
about everything that they've built.
Poo-poo all over it.
What kind
Yeah.
of person are you trying to be right now?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
So, I'm open to constructive criticism, but
Sure.
first of all, I didn't ask you.
Well, that's the thing. Is
Second.
if you're going to ask questions, don't shit on my response.
Yeah.
This is my idea. This is what
But
we're
see,
doing.
we're talking about boundaries again. And so when I first started all this and I understood that, hey, this is where my heart is leading me. This is what I'm passionate about. This is where I'm going. And when I got to the place, I knew I made it. When I got to the place that I was like, I'll walk this alone. I will walk this. I will walk this with God alone. If I have to leave everybody, and anybody that knows me knows that my fire, my reason for living is my family, my children. And I'm telling you this, I don't care who it is. That's how serious I am about this. I will walk this alone, and I will send you a postcard if I have to. It's not my choice. I want you to come with me.
Right.
But if you're choosing not to do so, that's your choice. I'm still not staying.
I was going to say, I think when I realized that I'm going to have to step outside my comfort zone and do a lot of shit on my own,
It's setting boundaries.
it broke my heart, though.
It's heartbreaking, but you'll get rewarded for that because the universe is testing you to see, listen, you want this, let's be straight out honest right here. I don't even know how much this is going to actually go out or not. And at this point, it doesn't even really matter. Edit how you want to or keep it, whatever. I'm
it's all
cool either
going
way.
out.
All right, well, then here it is. Because I'm just going to put it out there.
Go for it.
I don't know. You trust me? I got stuff to say. No, but, you just have to, first of all, surrender that you don't have all the answers.
Wow.
What?
Ignore that, but that was obnoxious.
I think it's...
Wow.
So they're probably trying to shut me up. Anyway, follow your path, follow your passion, and start by surrendering. When you surrender the idea, did you need to check that?
No, I'm trying to figure out how to not make it happen again.
What is it?
It's just telling me more space.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. So, first to surrender to you don't have, like back when I told you about the spiritual awakening, when everything just completely imploded, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what is even happening here? What am I doing? And when I surrendered to the idea that I was not in control, because I controlled everything, right? Because you get taught, if you want it done right, you do it yourself. So I had the idea that if I just control everything will be great. I'll just know everything's going to work perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the universe goes, haha, but you're not in control. And I'm about to show you, And so when you finally surrender to the idea that you don't have all the answers, nor are you expected to have all the answers.
Mm-hmm.
You're given a path, you're given this passion in your heart. You start making steps in that direction, and the universe will open up and help you along the path. Because you're co-creating.
Yeah.
You're co-creating with the universe for your reality. Universe, call it what you want. God, source, light, whatever. Whatever your greater power is.
However you see it.
Whatever you believe in. Because we all have that, or at least should, I think. So, pretty dangerous if we don't.
It's a pretty incredible notion. I will agree that one of the more prominent feelings that I've had over this last year is that I don't feel like I get the answer that I need or the direction that I need until I'm ready for it.
That's exactly it.
You know what I'm saying?
I absolutely know what you're saying.
I have to put energy.
It feels blocked, doesn't it?
I feel, yeah. I put energy into whatever the case that I'm trying to accomplish is, and whatever situation I'm trying to get through. I'll dig and dig and dig, and it like doesn't work out right away. You know, shit just doesn't kind of
no
mesh.
instant gratification.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when it's time, when it gets down to the nitty gritty, when shit gets really close to being the end, I usually get the knowledge I need to get.
Yes.
And I
because
usually
it's
get the
all by
answers I need to
design.
get.
That's what you're starting to see. It's all by design. You've already co-created with the universe how this is going to go.
It's pretty incredible. It's just the effort. It's almost like me telling me, hey, you're gonna work.
Me versus
Yeah, you're gonna work for this shit for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna figure it out, but it's gonna get really close to a breaking point before we do.
So can I tell you some crazy stuff?
Keep going.
Okay. So let me just where is it? Okay, let me just finish that idea. First of all, relinquish control. You're not in control. The universe is.
Mm-hmm.
Decide that you've already co-created this plan with the universe. You already know your path coming in. You've already chose your parents coming in. You wanted to learn from those parents. Okay, look at it this way. Let's look at it like you're an avatar. You pick an avatar, okay? Remember we talked about last time about you're just really a character on a play, playing a role, right? So let's say before you come here, you have this little meeting, right? And you're like, we're eternal, right? So we're like hanging around the universe doing what we're doing, right? And we're like, hey, let's go on this adventure. We're going to go to Earth. Who wants to do it? It's like a blip. It's just a very small amount of time in eternity, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to go to Earth? It's like a fast track class. You can learn all these lessons. So and this is based off of not just me going, oh, I had this idea. This is like Newton Institute, where Richard Martini has 10, 15 years of filming people under hypnosis that almost all say the exact same thing about the other side.
Huh.
Look it up, Newton Institute. Look at things like Albert Einstein. He would literally fall asleep because, there's alpha, beta, theta waves and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have certain REM sleep. We have certain,
certain levels.
Yes,
Yeah.
right? And so when your dream state and those kind of things, right? And he would fall asleep with I believe it was a spoon in his hand. And when he would start to fall asleep, the spoon would drop and he'd be in that way he could go in that place. Do you think that guy wasn't guided and didn't have ideas about relativity and energy and stuff? Come on.
God, we're gonna get into a
Oh my gosh,
whole
I'm
nother
telling
fucking
you,
conversation right now.
We could talk for a year about this. So,
Holy
but
shit.
these are places that he went to in his brain. By design, the powers that be want us to be working for them 9 to 5 every day and be distracted with what's going on the TV and what's going on in the news. I haven't watched the news in years. If it's that big of a I'll hear about it, trust me.
Yeah, I don't watch the news either.
No, because you can't. You do that, forget about it.
Yeah.
Because all it is, and I'll hear him like, Chris came over and was watching it just briefly the other day.
They capitalize on negativity.
And I said, they repeated the same thing about this person being shot 8 times in the 3 minutes I was like, oh, I don't want to hear it. You either watch it somewhere else or I don't want to deal with it. So, but that's how it is. They'll just keep throwing this negative stuff on you over and over and over and over and over, right? You have something to say?
On top of other studies that I'm not going to dive too much because we can get sidetracked right here. This is
we've been sidetracked 1,000 times.
Yeah, well, I know. But this conversation will take us to a
But it's
whole
multifaceted.
No pun intended. Take us to a different dimension.
Mm-hmm. For real.
There are different studies regarding different things and different inhibitors going on that regard people going to a different place mentally,
mm-hmm.
time and time again,
mm-hmm.
and being able to map out further and further into whatever it is each time,
mm-hmm.
working farther and farther on different occasions.
Or what about lucid dreaming?
That's another thing. That was my next step. So if you get the fuck out of my head, that'd be cool.
I almost spit my water.
Don't do that.
I do get in people's head.
I have actually. It's not like something that I've been avidly focused on. It is something I pay attention to, but it's not something I've been avidly focused on. But I myself have had dreams that put me back in the same place, and we're talking about months apart on like 4 different occasions. And I go back to this certain place, and this very last time I had it, I remember having a very clear thought because of the person that I was talking to in my dream. I was trying to figure out in my dream, because I was working. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was sleeping at work. I was waiting for a call, so I can downtime.
Cat nap. Yeah, sure. Why not? I would.
And I remember it was like a Wednesday for me. I was sleeping, and in my dream I'm going, okay, I'm at work, but it's a Saturday for her. I need to figure out how to explain this to her in the dream. And I was like, and I woke up thinking, where the fuck did I just come from? Or not where, but when the fuck did I just come from? And there's levels. There's levels that we can't see, and I'm really sorry to go down that hole, but
I'm in the rabbit hole queen.
This is another statement that you can branch 50 different directions from, but I'm going to say it. Whether it's because of religion, God, energy, spirits, astronomical, aliens, however you want to take it. I really, truly believe that we're just meat vessels, and we're ships for something much more important.
We are spiritual beings having a human experience.
And probably one of the only reasons that I will agree to that is because when I saw my best friend at his open casket, and I looked at him for the first time, I didn't feel anything. The first time I ever looked at him and didn't feel a goddamn thing, I realized
he's not there.
That shit's not cool. I'm seeing him, but I don't feel.
But you're not seeing him.
I don't feel because of what I'm seeing. I feel because he's not there.
Exactly.
And then shit started happening, and I started, my eyes were open after that day. And I don't know if it's because of him, but...
So remember I talked about a mirror.
There's something much fucking bigger going on.
I got all kinds of crazy stuff I can throw out here. So when we talked about a mirror, right?
I don't know.
As above, so below.
Oh, yeah.
When we're awake here, we're sleeping in the spiritual realm. When we're in the spiritual realm, we're sleeping here. Is that crazy? I've had dreams where I woke up, went to the bathroom, went back to bed, and started where I left off on the dream and continued it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've done that plenty of times.
Lucid dreaming. I've got a story about my brother coming to me that would blow your mind. That's how I knew.
There was something much more, and at the very basis of everything that we're explaining right now, as a young adult, we'll say, as a young teenager, I knew going into my teenage years, and this is the core of why I started this, that there is something, there is a connection, and I got so sick and tired of hearing how we're not supposed to be what we're supposed to be.
What do you mean?
You're supposed to...
Who says supposed to what? Who says that?
That's what I'm trying...
Exactly.
Growing up and dealing with all these kids that are trying to figure out their identity and all the bullying and the making fun of and this is where the innocence starts to fade away from childhood, you know?
Well, it's where the pain starts.
Right. But that pain is trained. That's my belief. That shit...
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
come in, babies are precious, and oh my gosh, that's why there's such a big deal.
Just because you're growing up and you're going to start opening up your eyes to what is entailed in the bigger world doesn't mean that you should lose the innocence and the pure choices that you make, you know? And those things fade away. And those pure choices and the real love, all that stuff fades away. And I realized growing up, you know, as a teenager...
Well, we start calcifying our heart.
And I start being told to make these choices so that way I don't get hurt by other people's choices. And things just started, shifting
Instead
in
of
a way.
saying, screw people, do what you're doing, you were told to protect yourself and to conform to what everybody else does.
And I've known for so long, nobody's supposed to be doing this.
Right.
We're not supposed to be hurting each other.
Right.
We're not supposed to be conforming so that way we don't get hurt. None of that shit's right. So when the Rubik's Cube got twisted, I went through 15 years of, what are we doing? This doesn't make sense. I don't like that I have to be fake to hang out with you. Not a fan. I'm not going to do it.
Because you're changing who you are.
And that's what leads me to where we are today.
When you change who you are, you're not being authentic to yourself.
Yeah, and I never wanted to do that.
What I always got was be true to yourself.
Yeah.
Be true to yourself. Not anyone else. Be true to yourself.
I forgot where that was going. I'm sorry.
It doesn't matter. We're gonna fly all over the place, and I'm so used to it. I'm down for it. But so there's like when we come into this planet, right? I saw this meme where I don't know if you saw it, but it's like, what if the light at the end of the tunnel is you coming out of the next birth canal?
I have seen that. I have seen that.
Like, holy crap. But this is what I believe. This is my point of view. I believe, so when they talk about aliens, they're like, oh, now that they've come out, there's aliens in the ocean. No shit. Okay?
Really?
We've been knowing that. Who doesn't know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's, And the funny thing is, if you think about this like on a smaller scale, like, you've seen the movie Armageddon?
A long time ago.
It's got Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis, and I just saw this scene because Spirit speaks to me a lot, and they show me like scenes of a movie, or I'll be cleaning or doing something, meticulous or tedious, and all of a sudden a song lyric will pop in my head. I'm not even listening to it. A song lyric will pop in my mind. Oh, all right, okay, that's what's happening,
Okay.
So, and they showed, we were talking about aliens. And look, there's duality, period. There is positive and negative. In order to have a charge in a battery, you got to have a positive and negative, right? There's dark and there's light. There's black and there's white. You know what I'm saying? There's duality in everything. So, so we're talking about aliens. There has to be good and bad in them, right?
Yeah.
Just like us, just like everything that came before us, just like things that come after us. What?
I hate it, but you're right.
Yeah, it's a fact.
It's contrast and it's perception.
Absolutely. Without one, the other wouldn't exist. How would you even know? If it was always night, how would you know what day was?
Right.
So there's contrast. So are there good aliens? Sure. Are there bad ones? Sure. I'm sure there are, right? And so, anyways, back to the Armageddon scene where they come off and they're all like made it, and they get off in their spacesuits and they're all walking down the pad, And I know that those are human beings in this big bubble head thing and in this suit, right? Mm-hmm. But what if what I'm saying is, if you were to actually encounter an alien, if you didn't know what they were, wouldn't you be freaked out? I'd be freaked out if I wasn't a human that knew that person had a big bubble head for a cat, right?
Right.
Doesn't that look strange?
Yeah.
You just know that's a human inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you didn't? So, of course, we're going to think it's weird. Anything that first of all, when we find something we don't, or immediate, if there's a bump in the night, we're not going, oh, Spirit's coming to say hello. They're just checking in on me. We're like, what's that? Oh my gosh, someone's breaking in. Or, we immediately go to fear, right?
Yeah.
So, I think about that kind of stuff. Like, if I were to actually encounter one, how afraid would I really be? Fear the unknown? Sure, because you don't know how they're going to behave, right? Mm-hmm. So, but they're going to look weird. There's going to be good and bad. We know that they exist. I'm telling you this. If this is superior intelligence here on Earth, please bring the aliens in to help us. You know what I'm saying? They have where do you think the pyramids came from?
Oh, don't God,
come on,
dude.
How did they get there? How did they get there? How did they get there?
I don't want to do this.
I'm saying there is intelligence through waves, through all kinds of things.
I've heard a lot of crazy theories, but one of the ones that I'm actually really fond of that doesn't seem to get enough recognition, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. There are, I can't even reference to who, but I saw a study on. Somebody did a study on the rooms, or not rooms, because they don't actually believe those are tombs. But there are the paths that are in there. Mm-hmm. People that have actually explored through the pyramids and through the different caves and rooms and they're different sizes. It's all different shapes. Say that there's a not. We'll use the word energy for the sake of conversation.
Okay.
But it's not like an energy. It's like it's a very feelable vibration.
A frequency. Right. Palpable.
Yes. Mm-hmm. The idea being that they're using of resonant frequencies to move everything that got moved with more tools than we have access to now. But the use of resonant frequency vibration to defy gravity.
I mean,
They assume on some level, since those are all astronomically placed very specifically, because
there's no random design there, actually. Yeah.
Because of the shape in the rooms, they were used in some way, shape, or manner to harness some form of energy or frequency to defy gravity, propulsion, gravity kind of thing. Yeah. Interesting study.
Energy, all energy. We can go back, and everything we talk about, we can go back to energy on it.
Or it was the fucking giants. I don't know.
And the giants, where'd they come? I got news for you. We're not all freaking just born here on Earth as Earthlings. You think there's not aliens among us? I could be an alien I could be from another planet. You could be from another planet. Maybe we're here to help everybody else elevate. Right? We sign up. So this is back to what I was saying. I believe that we sign up for this mission, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, listen, Sage, here's the deal. I'm going to go through this awakening, and then I'm going to start a business, and I'm going to need to start getting, like, the ideas out there, and I'm a vessel to speak things out to people to, help encourage them and, wake them up after I'm woken up, right? And you're like, hey, check it out. I also we're going to do this podcast thing. We're going to meet up at this point, and we're going to work together on this.
Yeah, do you think that's all premeditated?
Heck yeah, I do. Of course I do.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Come on. You sign up. You're like, I'm going to have this mission on Earth. We could have went to... Look, we are not the only planet. Galaxy, obviously planet. Galaxy. I mean, it is infinite, right?
I would never believe we're the only ones.
God, I hope not.
It's not fucking possible, I don't think.
It's not. Why would it be? Why? Yeah. How egotistical for us to think that we're the only... Put it this way. I always think about this is a silly thing to do, but the reason I speak on different levels is because we're reaching different levels of people that have the capacity to understand things or whatever. So you'll hear me go from very simple, like bottom line stuff to it's just something's going to resonate with somebody and it's supposed to, right? So I think about this. Let's talk about the bottom feeders of the ocean. Let's just imagine, right? This is how I used to think when I was younger. Mm-hmm. When I would think, like, are we the only ones that exist? I don't see how. Well, this is back to the alien thing too, right? Well, let's say bottom feeders at the bottom of the ocean, they communicate with the rest of the dolphins and the sharks and the orcas and
somehow,
right? And they're like, the dolphins are like, hey, dude. You're not going to believe this, but at the very top of the water, like if you peek up out of the water, you'll see these two-legged beings on the sand.
They're really close to blowing each other up.
Yeah, sometimes.
So you might want to go up there and scare them.
Here's the crazy thing. There'll be like two-legged beings in this weird position in this apparatus that has these round things that move very quickly across the beach, right? Jeeps, whatever, sand. So, and the bottom feeder's like, yeah, whatever. I'll believe it when I see it.
Sure, dude.
Yeah, okay.
They come up to like, holy shit.
Yeah, right? So are we the bottom feeders? No. We're the dolphins going, hey, you guys, I've seen it myself. There is something up there. I know there's something up there.
The theories
But you see what I'm saying now, where I'm coming from? Why would we think there's a whole world in the ocean that we have barely scratched the surface of? Who are we to think that this is it? That we are the end-all, be-all? Mm-hmm. Right? You'd be ignorant to think that there wasn't something else out there. So, anyhow, I believe we do sign up these contracts and we say we pick our parents because we want to learn from our parents. We sign up, we're like, hey, I want to have this experience. Because in the spiritual world, we manifest instantly. You think it, and it's there. There are no obstructions. It's instantaneous. So my brother came and told me that, actually. He explained how he was looking down at Earth. If he wanted to look at the beach, he would just think of the beach and he'd see the beach. It's instantaneous. We actually came here to learn how to manifest so we could appreciate the process involved, because everything starts in spirit and trickles down into 3D. So when people are manifesting a new truck, like we talked about before, it takes time. We wanted to learn how to do that instead of having it come instant. To us, it was boring. Like, yeah, I want to go to Ireland. I have a thought. There it is. I'm in Ireland. What a nice challenge it would be to go actually learn how it actually works to get that here. Think about that.
I don't have to.
Thought provoking, right?
Manifesting creation by manifestation is a real fucking thing that's been acknowledged by a lot of different people that are a lot smarter than me.
Long time. Yeah. So there was a gal.
That's terrifying.
I think it's so interesting and crazy and fun. We can do anything we want to do, but we are taught, programmed as children, no, you can't do that. No, that's not right. When we were kids and we're playing with our imaginary friends, right?
Yeah, that shit does. I'm not.
No, we're connected to spirit. And then our parents come in and go, what are you doing? No, that's not a good, no, that person, no, that doesn't make sense. And they're afraid, so they shut it down, right? Then you get into school and you sit in this chair and they tell you you're going to learn X, Y, Z. Half the crap isn't even stuff that actually, anything, they come out and they have no knowledge. They can't even balance a checkbook when they come out of school, right?
Which irritates me.
Right. So I think everybody should have to take like an economic class before they can vote. Ugh. Anyway, that's a whole nother. But anyway, so, and then they sit down and they have X amount of 25 kids to a teacher, 30 sometimes. And you're like sitting in the chair and you better be very, very diligent about doing exactly what I tell you to do. Don't speak out. Don't talk to other people. Don't, be this way, fit in this box, right? And if you don't, you have ADHD.
Ooh.
Which, by the way...
Ooh, here we go.
Which, by the way, I think ADHD is a gift.
This one is fun.
Right?
You'll enjoy this.
Go ahead. I'm here for it.
I was like a poster child for Ritalin when it first came out.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Because they told me, oh, yeah, here we go. Now it's getting personal.
Oh, my gosh, here we go. Yeah.
We're going to have to end it soon.
Yeah.
But...
or go on for 3 days and just edit it.
All through school... I was ADD, possibly special ed, learning disabled, medicated, whatever the hell else you want to. I was literally like always one step away from being in any of the special classes. One step away, because I didn't learn the way that they need me to learn. I was learning disabled. I had fucking anything under the sun.
In other words, you didn't do it their way.
But how on fucking planet Earth, excuse my French, well, that sounded like fuck, is a guy with all of those fucking disabilities...
Yeah, they weren't. They're gifts.
Made it this far, survived this fucking long on my own, have the shit that I have now, all the stuff that I've worked to.
Because that's what the system wants you to
believe.
All
the wants and desires.
They want you to believe that you are inept, that you are incapable, that you are doing what they want to do when you want to do it because it serves them.
Incredible.
If you're working 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 or whatever it is, and you are constantly busy in your work, so you got so much stuff going on and so many distractions that all you do is make money and keep paying the bigger rent. That's by design. They want you distracted.
By no means am I asking...
They want you labeled.
Yeah, by no means am I asking for any surmountable amount of credit or extra attention. All I'm saying is I never got a GED. I never got a diploma. They told me I was hopeless all through school. I was hopeless.
So you were threatening.
It was useless, and I don't know. My desires seemed to be a lot more flame driven. I don't know. I seem to have a lot more going for me than a lot of fucking people do. So
because that's who you are. That's your heart. And
it's incredible.
It's a label they're trying to put on you so that they can keep you in their box. I talk about boxes a lot because it's all about trying to be stuck in this box, right? And when you realize that you can create your own, we are co-creating. If no one hears anything else, you, not anyone else around you, you are co-creating your own reality with the universe how you want it to be here. We came here to create. If you're not creating, you're destroying. Okay? We came here to create. We came here to get back to God. We came here to understand energy, to manifest. Money is abundant. That's what I was getting to tell you. So money, people think currency is money. Currency is just that. Current. Money flow. It's right in it. Currency is actually energy. If you can tap into the energy, you can have all the money you want. Who's going to stop it? These are forces bigger than the powers that be here.
It is pretty incredible that regardless, I guess I really can't speak too far onto it because I haven't really experienced it yet, but everybody, including myself, that are kind of going on this journey with me, money's not really like...
It's not. It's freedom.
Nobody, yeah, but none of us give a shit about money, and even when the money does
and
come...
that's why it's going to work.
The only thing that it's going to offer is more freedom to do and everything that we want to be doing.
That's what I'm saying.
You know?
So the people that are motivated by money...
It's not for the money, it's for the freedom, which
because here's the thing. Most people want money so that they can have these extravagant things, so that they can show the universe how they got it all together when the inside's a complete disaster.
Yeah, I'm no more impressed by shit than I am
But you're
anything.
already fixing yourself and healing yourself when, so money doesn't have the same value as it does to someone else because you don't have anything to prove.
Yeah, we just want to...
So now, the only reason for money is to turn around and not only pay my bills, but have the ability to help other people pay their bills and
100%.
get them out of it. Let's see everybody win.
100%.
Right?
That's our fucking motto.
So the
around
money
here.
is not about the money.
Everybody eats.
Yes.
Everybody eats.
Some of them don't eat at my table, though, Tupac.
Let's go.
Okay.
You nailed it, though.
It's true.
Yeah. No, but everybody
that's
eats.
That's about setting boundaries, and you're going to come. Come back to me when you do, because you're going to come to the point where you start to understand that even though these boundaries are painful, and you have to let people go you really love.
Super heartbreaking. You
will find people that are going to totally get you, that you're going to fall in love instantly and be like, we've met. Mm-hmm. It's going to be so immediate. I'm telling you, your soul tribe's ready for you. We are already set up to do these things. You just have to follow that path. And your internal GPS will guide you. You may get off track, and they're going to turn you right back onto the path again.
It's incredible how difficult this world helps it perceive. No, that was... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This world makes you perceive that as such a difficult task.
It's not.
And you get so sidetracked with stuff and with people and with...
If you can believe in a higher power...
The blindness is fucking real.
But and that's what we're here for, is to help wake people up. If you can believe in a higher power, that you don't have to control everything. All you have to do... I've done a video on this. Life does not have to be this hard. Every single one of us, whether you believe it or not, it doesn't matter what your religious belief is, or none at all whatsoever, comes in with a spirit guide, at least one, everybody at least one, depending on what your task is here, what your mission is, or what you signed up, your assignment is here. You have more depending on that. You have guardian angels. You have a spirit team, a divine spirit team that is here to help you. We are not doing this alone. All you have to do is call on them. Hey, I need your help. Do you know that you can, if you're going through this right now, let's say this situation right now, what you're building. Hey, God, do you think you can send me, or your angels, wherever, think, God, can you send me, I'm going to need, I believe, to walk this path. If it's in my highest and greatest good, please send me a spirit guide that can help me with the technical stuff. Also, when this blows up, can you send me someone that can help me with the finances and where I'm going to put my money and how I'm going to protect my business. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm going to be traveling a lot too. So can you give me a guide that was a travel agent? Look, I'm going to go back home and be a guide for I'm a guide right now. I'm going to go back home to Spirit. I'm going to be a guide there too. And then whatever I do here is going to be what I'm going to be really good in when I get back home. And then maybe the next generation will call on, hey, I need help with this, and I'll be the one helping them.
Is that the door?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Woo!
So you see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
You can call in extra guides. You can call in extra angels. You can ask for their help. They're sitting around waiting to help you. Life does not have to be this hard. We are not alone. Even if you're totally alone as a human, you still have guides and angels.
I will agree with you 100%. The only thing I'm going to add to that is that it works differently for every single person.
What do you mean?
We'll say response times. To be vague. Response times work differently for every person.
As far as like when guides come in?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I just can't see.
Maybe you're just not listening.
I can't see your pet. No. I get the responses I need.
Okay.
I just get them.
No, I don't mean you. I mean you in general. I don't mean you personally.
Yeah, I guess I just don't know how. I can't. I guess I can't.
So give me an example.
I can't speak for anybody else because it's my life. It's my.
Oh, you're talking about you.
My manifestation.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the only thing that I
also don't share your manifestations with anybody.
The only thing that I know to speak on is when things happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't speak.
Well, they're your own experience.
Exactly.
Sure.
And yours are going to be different from his. Mine are going to be different from hers. It's
my whole point, though, is just to say we're not doing this alone.
Oh,
we
yeah,
can call
100%.
on higher guidance at any time for certain things that go through it. We're not doing this alone.
It's in my mind. It goes all the way, always back down to creation by manifestation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that your energy has to be in it, or your request is going to
right.
be probably
but remember,
denied.
But so back to what I was telling you, when your energy goes into it, it's not just okay. So let me explain that really quick. Let's say you want to be on the beach, okay? You can't just go like see yourself stand on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. That's kind of like a half-ass plan, right?
No, you got to put your mental state into getting there.
It's energy and motion.
Yeah.
Emotion.
Yeah.
So you want to feel the sand between your toes. You want to smell the salty air. You want to hear the birds going over.
The problem
you want to use your senses.
The problem for our biological
Create
needs
emotion.
is that it's not instantaneous.
It's not instantaneous because it takes time to trickle down into the 3D.
But
that's my point.
When you put your energy into working towards that,
Mm-hmm.
what you want, and you start to think about it, you feel it, think about this is what you want, this is what you want to do, this is where you want to go. You know, things will start.
So let me tell you something I had to learn the hard way.
Everything.
Well, yeah, duh. Do I learn any other way?
Fuck.
So, and which is also part of the process that shows you we want it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So don't share your stuff with people because those negative comments, like the gentleman you talked about,
Mm-hmm.
that sends negative energy to you.
Oh, it was.
That's why you have to protect your energy.
Really fucking.
Because if they're like, no, that's not going to happen, they've just sent negative energy to you, so you have to block that. You need to protect your energy like you protect yourself, and more so actually. Because remember, what we're really working up in this, we're a collective. We're all one consciousness.
We're connected.
So when we are up in the spirit, when we're sleeping, we're up in the spiritual world. They know what's going on. They know you're coming into abundance, and you'll start seeing people. Well, that's why they say people come out of the woodwork when you start to get things, because they know it's happening. There are dark sides. There are things that are coiled up in the energy centers of regular old people that we call negative. Some of them actually have entities attached to them that are coiled up, that are literally wrapped up in their energy centers, and they get triggered by my job. My job's actually to trigger people. How insane is that?
Great.
Because I shine my light, and what happens when you shine a light on a dark space? So I will walk in a room, and people either love me, or they'll absolutely despise me before I open my mouth. Right? And I'm like, okay, there it is.
Before any money's manifested itself, it's already happened.
Everything already exists. You cannot imagine something that doesn't exist. It already exists. It's just not on this plane. So we are. There's another timelines. We are living multiple timelines at once. It's not linear. Time is not linear.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
Actually, time doesn't even exist anywhere but here where we created it. Doesn't exist in spirit world. My brother's been gone 25 years. Is 2 weeks to him. Time doesn't even exist. We're living multiple timelines at one time. So in one place, you may be homeless, and the other timeline, you may be trading out your brand new yacht for another one. Okay? I'm very serious about that.
I know, I'm sorry.
Okay? And I'm not like, I'm saying, so it depends. Oh, now we're getting into the good stuff. Okay. Hold on. Don't cut me off on this one.
Go ahead.
So we are living in constant talks about emotion again. We are living in many timelines at one time. All right? And we fluctuate throughout that all day long. All day long, you tell yourself, I'm in my highest timeline. I am in my highest timeline. I am in my highest timeline. Feel that. Create that vibration, that frequency, that energy. That's what the universe understands as frequency. So like I was telling Chris when I was explaining frequency, when you are switching channels on the radio station, you're tuning into a radio station. What happens in between the radio stations? Static.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable, right? It's annoying. It's noisy. It's uncomfortable. That's where we are when we're not tuned into our right frequency. We feel uncomfortable. So you tune in to that channel. If you don't want that channel, you tune into the next channel. I'll give you an example. I had a friend that was driving down the freeway. Crappy day at work. Calls me to tell me about all the crap that happened, right? and this just happened. And you're not going to believe this. This guy just started right in front of me on the freeway. And I'm like, because your vibration's low, dude. You keep thinking that you're the one bouncing between. These exist. This low vibration timeline exists already. You just dipped into it. That is already occurring. The guy bolting across the freeway right in front of you, the guy that cut you off, all that thing is going on all day long. You just dipped down into that one because your vibe got low.
It's so...
Turn music on, get your vibe up. You'll be in another higher timeline, and before you know it, people are waving to you.
It's so...
That's real shit, I'm telling you.
I find it so heartbreaking when I'm in my head thinking about people that constantly have these negative experiences throughout day after day
that
after
they are
day.
allowing.
And I don't know ever if I feel like it's my place to sit there and tell them, like, you need to up your thoughts. You need to, like, up your energy, you know, dig yourself out of that shit.
Turn the music on.
I understand that it hurts, and I understand that your things are coming at you, but, like, you need to start thinking about these things on a different level and stop thinking about the negative shit, and you will dig yourself out of that hole.
Am I explaining it right, though, to where it makes sense that these are already existing? People think we create... They're already existing in these timelines. We're just dipping in and out of it all day long.
You
up,
are,
down,
because
up, down.
It's proven time and time again that if you think negatively constantly, that's what's going to hit you.
You've dipped to that negative timeline.
That's all that you're going to find is
right,
negativity.
Because
if that's how
what you're looking for. That's what you're going to see.
And
frequency. What you see.
Unfortunately, it's... You know, it sucks because some people get stuck in that rut really bad, but you gotta pick it up.
When I get on this frequency, this is what I will see. Frequency. It's what I'm going to see. Frequently.
God damn your words.
I'm serious. It's all right there.
I know it is.
What I see, and this frequency is what I will frequently see. Frequency.
Shit. Well.
If I raise my time, if I turn music up, think about hugging somebody I love, petting my dog, whatever it is that gives me joy, my greatest vacation, sitting on the beach, whatever it is that gives me joy, and I raise my frequency, now I'm up in this timeline. It's simple as that. And that is up on this timeline, at this frequency is what I'm going to frequently see.
It's pretty incredible how it works.
It's really simple. It's really simple. And if I could and so what you're saying is, yes, it sucks. It sucks to have people that don't believe you preaching to the choir. I look like I'm completely insane.
It's just a really defeating conversation of trying to explain to somebody how they got to start thinking positively.
But you know how you do it? You show it by example.
Well, I mean,
when you make it, and you are making
that's
it.
the only thing I know how to do is show by example.
That's all you can do.
I lead by example.
And he never underestimates the value of planting seeds. You can't force somebody.
No, but
if you plant the seed, hey, here's a thought. This is what I would do. Have you thought about this? If they're like, blah, 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 okay, fair enough.
Well, it's going to be back here now.
Yeah.
Promise you.
Fair enough. But I planted that seed. And then I'm going to live my life and lead by example. And as I do that, you're going to go like, well, wait a second. So I went to school with that chick. Like, what? I know where she came from. I know,
Yep.
And then they're like, how'd that happen? Oh, yeah, all the stuff I've been telling you guys, and y'all thought I was insane. Which I'm not doing it for that. I don't really care. I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm going to lead by example.
That's all it takes. All right, we got to cut it.
I mean, it could just go on and on and on.
It can, but I got things to do, and I got to pee.
Me too. I hope that part's not in there.
Oh, it's going to be in there.
Oh, awesome.
I appreciate you. I'm grateful that you came through.
I don't know. We got a lot accomplished, but we talked about a lot of different stuff. So
we'll do it again, too.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of nice not to have a plan sometimes, actually. And just go where it's going. I
enjoy the organic nature of these conversations. So thank you again.
Hey, anytime. My pleasure.
Folks, until the next spiritual journey. I
never even looked at it. I forgot it was on.
That's all right.
It's probably